Phone on silent, flows cold. I'm thinking in decimals. Old friends switch lanes, new chains for ceremonial. Streets taught patience, pain taught me how to pivot. Dreams loud in the head, pockets quiet, gotta pivot. Pouring Patron for mistakes, not for celebration. I got blueprints on the dash, it's a demonstration. Missed calls from the block, they want me round obstacles. I choose paper over pity, life turning philosophical. I've been hungry with a plan, heart heavy but it's steady. Running miles in my mind, I'm trying to make it comfy for the family. Smoke curls like questions, but I keep my answers ready. If I fall, I'm climbing different, that hunger keep me deadly. Loyalty's expensive, I pay in time and trust. Seen brothers fake quick when the shine turn to dust. I move cautious, paranoia ain't a choice, it's a sound. Parade of false smiles, but the real ones stick around. Penthouse windows show the price of elevation. Same block, different clocks, we racing for salvation. Checks clear, hearts don't always do the same. Success whispering doubts, gotta tame the fame. Late talks with my girl, she say she see the change. I tell her I've been chasing peace, not just a range. Flashbacks of them nights with nothing but a promise. Now it's meetings, lawyers, new verses and deposits. I've been hungry with a plan, heart heavy but it's steady. Running miles in my mind, I'm trying to make it comfy for the family. Smoke curls like questions, but I keep my answers ready. If I fall, I'm climbing different, that hunger keep me deadly. Ambition in my veins, like ink on my knuckles. Read the contract, sign the lines, dodge the subtle hustle. Fake love at the shows, real love in the kitchen. Cooking meals for the squad, that's the real definition. I lost nights to the booth, found light in the cadence. Every scar is a lesson, every scar is a statement. I pray for the ones I owe, not the ones I owe to. Trials turn to trophies, but I'm humble with the view. Remembering was late, now the sky's the limit. But the fear never left, it just dressed up different. Kids at the park, look up, they ask for my story. I tell them work, beats luck, and keep your morals, don't worry. Enemies morphing the headlines, friends and the strangers, I keep a few close. Let the rest face the dangers, legacy on my mind, not just numbers and accounts. I plant seeds for the fam, let the future house the mounds. Whiskey kisses on the tongue, I taste decisions. Every blessing got a cost, that's life, no revision. I move like a ghost in rooms full of vultures, but I protect my peace, guarded like soldiers. I've been hungry with a plan, heart heavy but it's steady. Running miles in my mind, I'm trying to make it comfy for the family. Smoke curls like questions, but I keep my answers ready. If I fall, I'm climbing different, that hunger keep me deadly. Clock ticks, I write the hours into a ledger. Stack faith with the greens, keep it measured. If I make it, no, I bring the ones that stay. If I break, no, I learn from every price I pay.
Cold wires in the studio, hung like a heartbeat, I'm awake. Dreams on the dash, same ones that had me picking breaks. Work the winter off my back, winter in my jawline. Promise myself a different mirror, different skyline. I'm at moves with a paper towel and a coffee stain. Friends switch lanes fast when the weather changes, that's a pain. But I keep a pocket full of plans, not just excuses to explain. I've been chasing something bigger than the morning, I confess. Lost a lot of sleep, found little peace in the process. If you want me, show up, don't just talk about the checks. We keep it tight, we keep it real, no room for flex. Pour a little for the ones that stay when the doors close. Now I'm learning how to win without losing what I chose. Mama ain't the blueprint, I got scars in different languages. Homework in the gutter, cipher sessions, penicillin damage. Cops on corners, angels on the ceiling when I write. Used to make my choices based on hunger more than pride. Dead on my mind, but I wear it like a medal sometimes. Cold calls some old habits, gotta cut the ties and climb. Street poetry and satin sheets, that's how I rhyme. Wrist talking now, but the story's deeper than the jewelry. 100 screens watching, ain't nobody really know me. Private jets don't fix your stomach when the truth hits. My circle smaller, loyalty's the only outfit. Bought a house calls for silence, not for showing off the fame. Still awake thinking about the kids I left out in the rain. Success tastes bitter when you paying people you can't name. Ooh. I've been chasing something bigger than the morning, I confess. Lost a lot of sleep, found little peace in the process. If you want me, show up, don't just talk about the checks. We keep it tight, we keep it real, no room for flex. Pour a little for the ones that stay when the doors close. Now I'm learning how to win without losing what I chose. Loyalty ain't hashtag, it's gas money and latex. It's showing up at funerals and bailing brothers out the next mess. I cut off ghosts that whisper, let the real ones ring the bell. If your heart's in the freezer, I can't warn what you don't tell. We celebrate small wins with cheap bottles on its last. This is currency spent slow, invested in the past. I pray my kids inherit more than scars in my last tracks. Reflection in a rearview, speedometer, telling truths. I've been praying to the ceiling fans and cracking toolless proofs. Plans change, people change, but some sins stay stubborn. I write letters to my future self, fold them like a barter if I fall. Let it be loud, let the lessons echo in the halls. No more chasing validation from unfamiliar calls. Just steady hands, a steady heart in these late night brawls.
Late calls hit heavy, I counted mileage in my scars. Used to bargain with my hunger, now I'm bargaining for cars. Pockets felt the famine, now they dress in different cloth. But every win remind me where I started, pain ain't soft. I move like I'm accountable to ghosts and future kings. Build a fortress out of thrift store jackets and lost rings. Ambition like a pulse, be loud when the city's quiet. Chasing moments that don't lie, even when the night's violent. I keep my circle small, keep my conscience smaller still. Money got a hollow sound when the house don't feel like real. We toast to the wins, but I know the cost that comes with still. Loyal to the ones who stayed, fuck the ones who changed the deal. They see the shine, but not the late nights in the booth. Studio smell like incense, adrenaline and truth. Lifestyle switch, same hunger, different tableware. Friends calling from old blocks, I pick up cause I still care. Rims spin like thoughts in my head, I try not to crash. Luxury seats, but my mind still rises past. Success tastes sweeter when you remember bitter bread. Probability of peace ain't guaranteed with bread. I learned fast, straps come in different faces and names. Some smiling sharpened daggers, others steady with the flame. Loyalty ever rare, so I test it like a scripture. Keep receipts for conversations, measure every picture. Reflection in the tinted glass, I barely recognize a man, but I keep a few old friends, man, they know I began. We celebrate, quiet, no flash, just the sound of wine. We talk about the plan, not the highlight reels online. Counting blessings in the rearview, future calling like a bell. All the demons at my door, but I'm trying to ring them out of hell. Cash flow, heartbreaks, nights where I couldn't even tell who I was for myself. Now I do things for myself. Pressure turn to diamonds, but I still feel the squeeze. Therapy and verses, confession sessions on beat. I pray less with words, more by action in the trenches. Wake up, write a ledger, pay dues, break the benches. We ride with a code, no tabloids, no we talk. If you bleed from my cause, I carry you through the bleed walk. Street education taught me patience and the grind. Boardroom lessons taught me silence and the right mind. I picture funerals and victories in the same frame. Legacy over likes, let the city learn my name. Kids on the corner need a different kind of sermon. Teach them how to build, not just how to bargain. I'm stacking chapters, not just numbers on a page. Turning trauma into blueprints, wound up on another stage. If loyalty's a currency, I spend it on the truth. If ambition is a weapon, I point it at my roof. Sometimes I cry in rental cars, sometimes I laugh in planes. Sometimes I pick a ruined phone, just the hero names. Balance on a tightrope, the skyline keep me sane. I trade the rush for meaning, keep the love and lose the game. So I move in quiet storms, keep the legacy in motion. Friends who ride, we rise, that's the only true devotion. When the lights dim down and the tally's finally shown, hope I leave a map, not a ghost, for the ones coming home. I've been counting losses like lessons. Lessons turn to ammo. Sleepless in the studio, cheap coffee on the console. Old friends switch lanes when the zip codes change. I remember corners where the cold rain taught my pain. Paper thin notebooks full of plans and alibis. Used to trade my time for trust, now I trade the lies. Got a radar for the fake smiles and designer frames. Still I keep a little softness for the ones who know my name. I move like I ain't got nothing to lose, but I swear I got a lot to prove. Gold on my wrist, though the same scars in my youth. We toast to the wins, but we whisper about who stay true. If loyalty's a currency, I spend mine on the crew. Ambition like a fever, I chase checks and new heights. Courtroom lights clash with the after-hour fights. Contracts on the table, but my mind's on my people. Gotta lift them out the trenches, make the quiet lethal. I gamble on myself, bankroll my own belief. Sleeping in the back of dreams, wake up to receipts. They don't feel the hunger till they see me on the stage. But credit never equals closeness, success brings a different cage. So I count these blessings like breath, steady, quiet, low. Success is a loud house, but the silence really shows. I move like I ain't got nothing to lose, but I swear I got a lot to prove. Champagne for the table, still the same nights in my shoes. We celebrate the shine, but never cash the rule. If loyalty's a currency, I spent mine on a crew. Loyalty running thin, but the green just talks louder. Brothers turn acquaintances when the stakes got prouder. I keep a list of faces that stay when the lights dim down. We share the same story, same hunger, same battleground. I got codes on my skin, scars drawing up the map. You learn who carries weight when the world try to laugh. Ride or die ain't a slogan, it's the phone line at 2 when the cops not quiet and a whole lot looking through. Lifestyle snapshots, foreign cars, late flights, runway suites. But I taste the after, empty rooms and new receipts. I buy calm when I can, but peace ain't on the menu. Got a closet full of armor and a heart still trying to get through. Flashing lights and velvet ropes, sometimes it feels unreal. Money talk on echo, can't erase how I feel. Still I order meals for the folks who stay back home. That's the kind of flex that pays you in a different tone. Reflection in a mirror, I'm talking to a younger me. Told them patience isn't weakness, it's the blueprint to be free. I make deposits in my kids' laugh, plant trees for they shade. Lead them streets with fewer traps and better plans laid. I ain't running from the past, I building on the rubble. Take the lessons, flip the script, keep the hustle humble. If I fall, I get up different. Scars teach me how to move. Legacy ain't just a name, it's everything you prove. Sometimes I'm proud and sometimes I'm scared to count the cost. All the winds whisper quiet cause I remember what I lost. But if love is the bank, then loyalty's the proof. I spend it on the people who showed up in a booth. Lights dim, beat fade, still I hear the city hum. Got a list of broken promises, but a list of things I wanna keep the crew close. Stack the future with a softer touch. Rise with the sun, protect the ones who matter most. Yeah. Phone buzzing, last call, ain't never been a soft sell. Concrete taught me patience, pockets taught me to rebel. Used to count ramming balls, now it's numbers on a spreadsheet. Dreams was a whisper, now they knocking in my sleep. I move like I'm borrowing time from tomorrow's dead. Paper routes, cold words, never showing all the threats. Mom wanted peace, I brought home scars and blueprints. Built a bunker out my bedroom, turned the pain into a blueprint. I've been running through my demons with a calculator mind. Stacking emotions in the trunk, try to leave the past behind. Shining but I feel the weight, diamonds heavy on my chest. Success tastes like solitude, that's a curse and that's the blessed. Hands steady on the wheel, but the road keep changing lanes. Loyal to the real ones, everybody else is game. Old friends feel like channel, loyalty got static. Trust on layaway, smiles come with a plastic. Went from hand-me-downs to custom-made demand. Now they knocking at my door without such plan. I remember cold bathrooms, cutting deals with no sleep. Now hotel suites got views, but the mirror still is deep. A couple wins, a couple losses, lessons stitched in denim. I keep a list of who rode, who just had dental sentiment. Pray for clarity, I pray for fewer lies. Counting blessings in the dark, watch the shadows multiply. I don't celebrate a flex if it don't silence the pain. Champagne for the nights, a false but money for the rain. I got visions of a future where my kids don't ride my scars. So I hustle through the day like how my headlines with guitar. Rolling on my but I measure time in tears. Bought a house on a hill, still haunted by the years. Studio sessions still done, pour my heart in 40 bars. Everybody love to shine, if you remember who we are. Close circles tighter than my fitty, no more open seats. We toast to small victories, then we grind for bigger feats. I cut off toxic angles like I trim a rotten vine. Success is sweet but silent when you're numb to the wine. Ambition got stripes, I earn them in the trenches. Paid dues in installments, kept receipts for my sentences. Loyalty's a currency, I spend it like a fossil. Once you betray the code, ain't no coming to my gospel. I write my names in legends, not in hollow-headed lines. Legacy's a long game, pass it down through honest lines. Sundays used to be for Sunday school, now I teach my kids how to read the room. Keep the circle small and mine. Set my beta flex if it don't silence the pain. Champagne for the nights I fought, but money for the rain. I got visions of a future where my kids don't write my scars, so I hustle through the daylight, hide my headlines with guitars. Now when the smoke clears, I'm just a man with less armor. Scars tell stories louder than the wars or the charter. I invest in winners, plant trees for summers they won't see. Paying rent to my past, buying freedom for a fee. If I fall, I wanna fall with my people close and steady. If I fly, I want my ghost in first class holding heavy. Ambition stay electric, but my heart learn to soften. I keep my circle, that's the code and that's the cover. Lights fade on the boulevard, but the hunger stays lit. Counting progress in the scars, that arithmetic's legit. No fairy tales, just real bills, real nights, real fights. I chase a better morning, that's the reason for these nights.
I keep my shadows out and rapping, and I'm feeling like love.
Woke up to a checklist, not a prayer, just numbers. Phone buzz like a heartbeat, city full of slumbers. I've been chasing ceilings, not the ceiling fans, feel the thunder. Paper chasing made me colder, but the gold keep me warmer. Pull up with a plan, wrist right, mine no longer play. Eyes on bigger stage, a little lights, but I'm gon' blaze. Don't miss about overnight, just mornings with no sleep. I invest in a future, watch the past take a backseat. I'm hungry not for food, for the proof, for the proof. Scars look like trophies when I'm trying to tell the truth. Loyal ones stay close, fake ones show they lose. I keep my circle small, keep my heart on the roof. Roll slow through the changes, keep my vision in a booth. Money come and go, but respect is what I move. Used to count the days when rent was a threat. Friends turn statistic, some I can't forget. Mama worked 2 shifts, hope was on a cigarette. I promise I'ma flip it, build a sunrise from death. Therapy and verses, bottles on the windowsill. Taught the ghosts in the mirror, sometimes they talk that real. Angles cut deep, trust a thing I gotta refill. If they here for the glitter, then they here for the cheap thrill. Now it's foreign plates, late flights, different time zone, but the mattress still remembers all the nights I had alone. Success tastes bittersweet when your circle ain't grown. Used to wish for a raise, now I'm trying to raise a home. I got taste, I got style, but I check the bank first. If the day ever flips, shiny stones lay not a verse. Lifestyle different, still the code remain rehearsed. Keep humility in pocket, never let the ego burn. I'm hungry not for food, for the proof, for the proof. Scars look like trophies when I'm trying to tell the truth. Loyal ones stay close, fake ones show they lose. I keep my circle small, keep my heart on the roof. Roll slow through the changes, keep my vision in the booth. Money come and go, but respect is what I'm. Ride or die meant more than tattoos and slogans. We split bread, split hope, some nights we went broken. I learned to read eyes better than 1,000 tokens. If you cross the line of silence, say what words won't mention. We celebrate when it's low-key, toast with cheap champagne. Protect the block like Alice with a cracked spine and pain. Betrayal cut the closest, let me count the stains. But loyalty's a currency that'll never drain. Thinking about the ledger when the lights go dim. What I leave is more than change, more than ring. Or some might ask, did you do right by him? I pray the answer echoes in the way I live, not win. I ain't no mortal, just tryna make my mark precise. Balance ambition with a soul that don't compromise. If the reapers early, oh, they know I paid the price. Build a name out the ruin, learn to swim through the ice. Sometimes I crave silence, sometimes I crave applause. Sometimes I close my eyes and I admit I'm flawed. But the road keeps calling, every loss become a cause. And the war inside the mirror steady rewrite law. Keep moving regardless, let the story write a man. Daylight break, I keep the plan, I keep the clan. Respect earned slow, you can't rush what you stand. I play the long game, pass the torch with steady hand. I've been counting commas while the city keeps in asleep. Phone blowing up, what goes another T, still hard to keep. Studio smelling like success and no regrets. I put your time on the line, fill my heart with a big set. Used to flip joints and borrow cars, dreams bigger than a job. Now I read contracts on my name, watching clocks, ticking stars. Ambition in my pockets, worry in my range. I chase sleep for a pain, train fame for a lane. I came from nothing, they forget how I felt. Swallow money, they remind me what I do. Count the blessings, count the losses, hold my keys tight. If he down when I'm down, we gon' song this breath. Yeah, mama never asked for fame, she just run a steady bread. But I was chasing baby checks while loneliness crept in my bed. Friends switched, life better. Smile said denials. I lend trust costs money. Loyalty costs lives. I pull these door on the bang. Braid on the faded couch. Sign deals with my heart be swallowed proud. Took the route. Straight lessons taught me cold. Ghosts taught me finesse. Now I juggle both worlds. Keep my heart out of the stress. Fake calls, cheap thrills. I don't fall for the gloss. We recognize blood, fate, you recognize cause. Rising from the trenches, keep my circle close to riding. We don't chase clout, we chase peace, trying to make it through the night. Money goes to stay, yeah, it changes how they act. But the ones that stay true, hold my name down and back. Used to sleep with one eye open, now the roof are different. Penthouse dream with concrete roofs, uncommitted. Been famous broken bills, got me out of budget low. Now I spend on tomorrow, but I never forget where I'm from. Flashy cars, quiet Guinness, loyalty over champagne. Every win got a cost, every smile came with pain. I send texts to the fame, I send praise to the loss. I celebrate small victories, praise to the cross. I'm building up the next seat, I just flex to the band. Teach the kids how to stand, I just had a plan. Investment over inflows, ways to move hype. I write history and verse, keep the streets in my tight. Enemies on camera, friend of my line. I'm moving silence, mosey, let the scoreboard define. Ambition ain't a curse, when it's tied to a cause. I hustle with a purpose, breaking generational laws. Sometimes I still wake up from my chest feel it sore. Memories of the old block, echoes from the floor. I meditate on profits, apologize to the past. Forgive myself for choices, learning love to last. If I make it, I'll take hands back up where I started. If I fall, I want it on the battle, then the party. Lord, I'll tease a currency, I trade you one low. Success is sweet, don't make me share, that's the code I know. Count the nights that I lost sleep, count the things I stayed on. When the world try to knock it down, we the rise or crumble. I choose drives, I choose key to real my near. Don't bleed over bridge, just the truth in my head. They fade, be slow, I'm still here with the pain. Paid the dredge and late call, still a T with a brand. If I leave the name, they mean love and grind. In my story with mine, we were hungry, we survived. Rains where the stool got crazed, live my patience. Used to chase lunch for a verse and feed it days and station. Phone buzz, do numbers, same vote, choose me favors. I learned loyalty costs more than paper. Play later, a promise smell like coffee in yesterday's fight. Dreams take to the wall, we grow, treeless and tight. I kept a little ledger of losses into it, and my pockets argue with conscience from the weekend again. So I move different when the city go just bread. Counting blessings in the river while I'm back and stressed. They see the fresh step, they don't see the steps I left. If success is a river, I take dudes to cross that mess. Ready from the block, got nigga hollow house. We celebrated deposit like this gospel in disguise. Loyalty is currency, not a lying right for clout. I kick the real ones out by how they show up, no doubt. There's a wrist full of scars that the diamonds can't hide. Some nights I buy silence just to get some quiet pride. Calls from old friends asking what I did and who I am. I tell them I'm working on tomorrow, but I still cook for the fam. Yeah, ambition like a furnace, burning all the doubt. I write goals on receipts when my head's about to bow out. Some people chase cloud, I change the safe mattress for the kids. A better meal, but it's good, let's spill when the lights dim. I smoke the same stress to try to exhale hope. Check them every day, they like it's scripture, it'll grow. Success tastes sweet but bitter when it's sold all toes. I pour a little out for the nights I was the loneliest host. I don't flaunt the route, I took the furnace song. Built an empire so high they thought I was just selling fun. Trust is a diamond cut by plain and second chances. Ride with me if your matches go humble in my blessings. Lifestyle like the cousin, pieces bought with weight. Cars, rooms, calendar full of days. I sometimes hate people applaud the finish, ignore the ground before. My reflection on the man who knows the cost of war. I got habits I confess to, money can't baptize. Boss on peace for trading nights, where honesty dies. Yeah. Still I toast to the ones who see me when the lights fell down. We outgrew the block or carry memories like crown. Reflection in the wheel, different nets ain't vain. I bite lies for therapy, sometimes I beat the bang. If I fall, let it teach my kids how to set a plane. If I win, let it teach them mercy, not a mean machine. I keep a list of no's, I don't let it so bitter. If you betray us, some lovers and homies I keep near. When the music stops, I know silence that don't frighten me. Show on my days when my conscience fully breathes. Oh.
Text, same doubts, I'm counting scars like trophies. City I'm in my chest, windows fog when I breathe G. Pennies turn to promises, then promises turn brittle. Trust got a price tag, loyalty costs a little. Used to sleep on dreams, now wake with plans and calls. Studio lit by a phone glow, holding wall with goals. I move quiet, but my mind loud like a sermon. Pray for the ones who stayed, curse the snakes who kept vermin. I keep my circle small, money loud, but the pain's low-key. Chasing bigger sunsets, still I miss the old me. Rooftop confessions, pouring whiskey on regrets. If success is a language, I ain't finished with my set. Paper stacks and late flights, ambition got no bedtime. Boss energy, dirty hands trying to make the wrongs align. They see the car, they don't see nights I tore a page. Trading you for a ledger, counting hours, counting rage. Chest clear but my heart's learning to accept the scars. Every win is hollow if you ain't kept the ones who cared. I told myself I'd change it, build a lane that don't bend. Now I watch my name in lights and pray it ain't pretend. Loyalty's a tattoo, some ink faded, some real deep. Brothers switch like seasons, real ones I barely keep. Had to cut some ties, yeah, let them go with the smoke. Can't save everybody, learn that lesson, bro. Love ain't simple, it's a balance and a sacrifice. Missed birthdays, missed calls, bought time with sugar and ice. But when the camera's off and the silence presses close, it's the whisper of my sister's laugh that steady keeps me composed. Counting blessings in the rear view, pain in the front seat. We ride through empty avenues, heartbeats sing with a beat. Money fix the problems that money can't replace, but the nights reveal the truth that the daylight won't erase. Lifestyle on the surface, deeper waters undercome. Porcelain smiles, trembling hands, hiding every crumb. Champagne on the table, but the place still running thin. We toast the better weather, but storms are always creeping. Got investments and intentions, but my soul still checks the mail. Old homies in the struggle, some fell off, some sail. I keep one ear to the block, one eye on the graph. Balance peace with paranoia, pray my path don't collapse. Reflection in the rear view, lessons like my teeth said I never fold again. Learn to walk around the heat. I write for the nights when the city don't feel like home. For the kids with cold fingers, for the ones who gotta roam. Legacy ain't just a chain or a number in your bank. It's the hands that you lift up when the whole world gets blank. So I hustle with a conscience, hustle with a vow. If I make it out the chaos, I'm taking y'all with me now.
Silent rose out the morning, come and prove me. I keep my promises like scars, visible, true and bloody.
I'm up before the sun, city breathe like lungs, I ain't held a plan. Clay on my hands, building towers out the sand. Wish I had a map, I had a van. Pocket full of hope and cigarettes, sometimes we'll burn the same. Move slow and fast, days earn to count losses while I count the gains. Lessons in the rear view, ghosts on the stool, they whisper, stay real. Phone buzzing, voices changing accents when the balance starts to feel like velvet on a bullet. Pretty paint wrapped in a velvet deal. I keep my circle small, tight stitches, no holes to reveal. We rise through the static, through the smoke and the doubt. Stack dreams on the table, don't let the fame sell you out. Loyalty's the currency when cash fades, it's what counts. I chase tomorrow hard, but tonight I'm counting my routes. But it hit me last week, said he see me on a billboard. Talk about the old days, he forgot the nights I gave him floors. We used to share the last meal, now he asks for numbers like a score. Loyalty costs more than trust, that's what I learned when I closed doors. Mama never gave me silver spoon, she handed grit and prayers. Taught me how to split an apple in two, taught me how to handle cares. So I move different with the ones who stay when the breeze turn cold. Real ones ride through the grayest storms, they don't just pose for gold. Fast cars, fast talk, slow heart, that's the paradox. Money make you famous, but it don't always cleanse the thoughts. Penthouse views, I still picture vacant rooms and broken clocks. Celebrate the wins and whispers, prayers louder than the pop. I got models on the line, promoters with a smile, but the ones who saw me fold still carry weight for a mile. Success tastes like sips, champagne on paper plate. I toast to the hunger, keeps me humble, keep me straight. Keep my name on a lock, keep my heart off the shelf. When the cameras fade away, I'm still fighting for myself. Champagne for the moments, water for the rest. I build with both my hands, I give my best to the test. Lifestyle looking glossy, but the ledger shows the fights. Latex from old friends, someone nice, someone right. I learned to say no gentle when the offers come wrapped in spite. Protect the peace like it's the only light left in the life. Ambition ain't a monster, it's the mirror that I stare. When the city's full of shadows, I find comfort in the dare. Rest more, speak less, collect the wins in silence. Make a habit of the hustle, make the grind exceed the violence. So I'm pressing on, new skyline under warning kicks. Vision crisp, but I don't rush love. Move through politics, promise to the ones who bled. I won't fold for the fame, if I fall it won't be soft. I'll get up and change the lane. Reflection in the glass, I see traces of the kid who ran. Now I'm back with a blueprint, with a better scar plan. Keep the circle tight, keep the music true, keep the pending bold. I trade loud applause for pieces of story that I hold.
Quiet wins out of prayers, keep the ledger clean. If you write loyal, if you cheat, be seen. Oh
alone, but same ceiling rent, doing nothing mattress. I count my lessons more than checks. Grind got a different practice. Cold coffee, crack screen, some text from numbers I don't save. Kids on the block, playing futures like they already paid. I wrote my sins in notebooks, taped them to the walking door. Dreams loud as traffic, but pockets whispering poor. I learned the price of silence when trust looks like a blade. Clip my doubts in playlists, let melodies parade. I've been running with a weight, trying to turn it into light. Stacking little wins while I'm dodging midnight fights. Keep the circle small, keep the circle tight. If you loyal, then you ride. If not, then you slide out of sight. Wrist hard when they ask, yeah, the ice speak fluent now. But diamonds don't erase the nights I didn't know how. They clap for the shows, don't see the nights I lost my keys. Or the nights I put pride on layaway, begging please. Studio smell like smoke and hope beats turn into my prayer. My voice cracked on the chorus, but I learned how to repair. People like to shine and forget the hands that bled. I keep receipts of truth, they counterfeit, they misread. Loyalty's the currency I spend on my real kin. Ain't about the chain or cribs, it's how you stand up when it gets grim. Ride for me, I ride for you, that's the code, that's the sin. Lose a few, keep the core, that's how legends begin. Jet lag in different time zones, same lonely hotel bed. Text from the little one saying, Daddy, what you said? I said I'm coming home, but work all louder than my heart. The balance got its claws in, tear my calendar apart. Brown bag lunches, contract signs, late flights, precious themes. Promised I wouldn't change, but success rewrites routines. Learn some faces, smile for credit, some for genuine belief. I buy my mama nothing flashy, peace of mind, a clean receipt. Been broke, been blessed, been jealous, been a judge. Seen prayers turning into plans, seen loyalty be a grudge. I kept a picture in my wallet of the kid on the stoop. So when mirrors got too pretty, I remember where I grew up. Forgive the ones who left, but don't forget the scars. Forgiveness ain't surrender, it's learning how to spar. I'm tired of fakes wearing masks, tired of deals that fold. My hunger write the verses, my conscience keep the gold. Now I'm setting boundaries, setting goals with a clearer pen. Ambition ain't a monster, it's the reason I'm in. I want houses with laughter, not hollow halls of glass. I want loyalty on speed dial, not performances that pass. If I stumble, I wanna know the crew still taking verse. If I fly, I want the real one singing, not rehearsed. So I hustle with a softer chest, but my aim remain precise. Chasing peace and progeny, this life is worth the price. Late prayers, early rising, foot on the pedal like a vow. I keep the list, I check the names, that's what success allow. No trophies on the shelf compared to nights we push through. If you ride with me, ride honest, I'm riding true with you.
Dreams tug in my sleeve when lamp lights go low. I pace the skyline like a thought that won't fold. Pocket full of midnight, pocket full of questions. I trade noise for notes, humming my own directions. Concrete taught me patience, windows taught me how to want. So I stitch new paths from the silver of a dawn. I hunt. Breath by breath I soft sell my doubts. Learning how to sing when the room shouts. Every step a syllable, every pause a vow. I move like the moon, slow and steady, stealing light. Float past the fences that learn how to bite. Freedom ain't a headline, it's a hum beneath the skin. Quiet revolution where the small wins begin. Let the city talk, I'm practicing how to fly. Melodies in my lungs, stars in my sideline. I count the gas between sirens, it's where I find air. Flip the script on the rearview, leave the static there. Money is a language I speak like it's weather, it comes, it goes. But the temperature inside me keeps rising, I compose. Friends change numbers, so I save the harmonies. Now my silence is a chorus, my choices are my keys. Slow breathe, let the past fall off my shoulders. Notes like warm water, freezing the cold over. I map out small freedom, stitch by stitch. I move like the moon, slow and steady, stealing light. Float past the fences that learn how to bite. Freedom ain't a headline, it's a hum beneath the skin. Quiet revolution where the small wins begin. Let the city talk, I'm practicing out loud. Melodies in my lungs, stars in my sideline. My hands remember the clink of deals and keys. Now they point at horizons, counting constellations like receipts. I stopped measuring value by how loud my name hit the block. Now I tune to the hush between clocks, that's where time unlocks. Love shows up in patient ways, not fireworks but roots. I water what I have and watch the simple bear fruit. I don't need loud applause to know I exist. Freedom tastes like rain on the roof you can trust. Soft take over a pulse under the noise. I find my voice in the hush of honest joys. Walk with me slow, feel the pavement, learn my beat. We shape our own sky, one quiet street at a time. Tonight I fold maps into birds and let them go. Wings made from the receipts of all the debts I won't owe. The gutter taught me gutter song, the skyline taught me script. Now I write notes to mourn and let the tether rip. Not running from anything, just heading to who I am. A compass that hums in tune, a palm that meets the calm. There's a melody that follows whenever I step out. It calls me to keep moving without a shout. God was certain, like a door that knows to open slow. Freedom is the music when I stop trying to own the show. So I breathe, the city becomes a quiet minor keys. I walk, and each footfall rewrites what used to be. No neon promises, just a clear sky overhead. Freedom is a song I hum to myself in bed.
I wake up with a list, no sleep, but I'm feeling ready. Phone buzzing like the past, trying to remind me of petty. Used to count the losses, now I count the heavy commas. Hustle in my marrow, pain turning to armor. City taught me how to move quiet, move clever. Got a target on my chest, but mine keep getting better. Paper building bridges where I burned a couple chapters. Learn to read the room, see the snakes dodge disasters. I'm chasing more than money, I'm chasing peace of mind. Rolling with my day ones, loyalty's a rare find. We climbing from the dirt, then we dress it up in diamonds. But sometimes in the mirror I don't recognize a man I'm signing. Ain't it funny how success can feel like a disguise? I'm working for a future where my heart don't compromise, yeah. Brothers switched lanes when the cool started shining. I kept the same breath, kept the same lines, kept rising. Loyal to the soil, to the ones who showed me past. Told myself I wouldn't fold, even when I couldn't laugh. Dead to the block, dead to the folks who had my back. Now there's signatures on ceilings, but the paint still in my tracks. We toast to the wins, but I pour liquor for the losses. Concrete sermons taught me lessons, not the bosses. They see the chain, they don't see the nights I was broke. They see the frames on walls, they don't see the stains on coats. Fast cars, slow trust, different kind of loneliness. Every flight feel like a test, I'm just hoping God forget it. Designer fits, but I'm still in last year's regrets. Smiles for the gram, but my mind keep collecting threats. I ain't glamorize the hustle, I narrate the consequence. Balance on a tightrope between my future and reverence. Money in my palm, still there's thunder in my chest. Trophies on the shelf, but the scars won't rest. We running past the doubts, trying to script a new address. But loyalty's a currency I trade when I invest. Shining lights, loud nights, quiet mornings out the stress. I keep my circle small, they know me, they know the test. Therapy and songs I confess through melodies. Colors that I paint with words, shades of enemies and symphonies. I thought success would heal me, but it opened other doors. Now I'm counting blessings and counting all the words. Sometimes I miss the simplicity of pockets with lint. Now I sign for other people's dreams, and that comes with a tint. A pressure in my chest of promises I can't forget. But every scar's a map of where I came and where I'm set. So I keep moving like a student. Diploma is the plan. Teach my kids to hustle smarter, not just stand with a hand. Build a brand of honor, not a castle made of glass. Invest in trust, watch the fake smiles fall like ash. Ambition driving cadence, struggle shape my tone. Success don't mean I'm whole, but it buys a safer home. Loyalty to compass, faith to steady weather. We rise, we lose, we meant one life, one tether. One life, one tether.
Stacking on my moves while the city sleep. Voices in my head, but I don't get weak. Lessons in the struggle, yeah, the climb is steep. Playing for the crown, gotta earn my keep. Pull up in the spot, all these faces watching. Shorty by my side, steady talking options. Checks coming in, yeah, we never stopping. Every move precise, every plan unlocking. Fast life, long nights, yeah, we on the grind. Feeling all the pressure, but I keep my mind. Mixing pain with the fame, leave the past behind. In the studio late, yeah, we redefine. Count every step, never miss a chance. Eyes on the prize, in this endless dance. Ops talk loud, but I never glance. Focus on the wave, yeah, I'll make them dance. Stacking on my moves while the city sleeps. Voices in my ear, but I don't get weak. Lessons in the struggle, yeah, the climb is steep. Playing for the crown, gotta earn my keep. Private flights overseas, watch the skyline bend. Shorty texting me late, talking about the trends. Homies in the cut, yeah, we never pretend. Life a high stakes game, gotta play to the end. Pour another drink, let the wave face slow. City full of secrets, yeah, I already know. Every loss a lesson, every win a show. Stacking on my vision, let the future grow. Moving through the chaos, but I keep it tight. Energy electric when we hit the night. Shadow shift around, but we see the light. These levels climbing, yeah, we taking flight. Stacking on my moves while the city sleeps. Voices in my head, but I don't get weak. Lessons in the struggle, yeah, the climb is steep. Playing for the crown, gotta earn my keep. Late night calls, yeah, they hit my line. Talking about the future, yeah, we taking time. Every play calculated, life in prime. Make some work with the vibe, let the beat chime. No fear in my chest, only plans ahead. In the lab, cooking heat, every bar set. On my crew, solid, never switch the thread. From the first to the last, we keep moving fed. Stacking up my moves while the city sleep. Lessons turn to wins and a vision keep. Eyes on the horizon, life never cheap. From the bottom to the top, yeah, the mountain peak. Stacking up my moves while the city sleeps. Voices in my ear, but I don't get weak. Lessons in the struggle, yeah, the climb is steep. Playing for the crown, gotta earn my keep.
I kept my pockets thin while my head was heavy. Counting lessons, not the money. Cardboard box concerts, I rehearsed my hunger. Turn the pain into the honey. Grew up watching Ghosts and Projects. Saw ambition in a window crack. Swore I brand my name on avenues that used to laugh when we came back. Trust was currency I couldn't spend. People close with cold intent. So I learned to move like water, let the past be sediment. I've been chasing paper, but I'm chasing peace at the same time. Flashing lights won't cover up the lines that run behind my eyes. Toast to wins, toast to scars, every mile another climb. If I'm losing sleep, I know I'm moving, that's the price for trying. Early mornings, late statements, meetings in the back of bench. Calculated chaos, still I pray for real friends, not pretend. Checks increase, but so does silence. Rooms get smaller with the fame. I buy my mom flowers with a smile that still remembers pain. Ambition like a hunger that won't let me sit at ease. I hustle till the rooftops quiet and the city starts to breathe. Promises on broken phones, loyalty stamped in tattoos. I keep one hand on the wheel and with one hand on the truth.
We ride or we fall, pick a side, we gamble on the truth. Diamonds in my pocket, but I never bought back my youth. Celebrate the wins, but don't forget the nights we move. Loyalty over lifestyle, that's the motto, that's the proof. Penthouse windows show the skyline, but the mirror shows the cars. Friends switch lanes quick, like they never saw the nights we crossed. Champagne on the table, but I'm thinking about the vacuum left. When the music fades and the applause starts, who's stepping up next? Money buys a number, not the shoulders that helped you lift. I write checks to memory, keep receipts for every gift. Crew tight like a heartbeat, we survive through lesser times. Share cigarettes and dreams for the $1, split the rhymes. Now we cruise different avenues, but still text when trouble calls. I watch the ones that snake slow, planted smiles by my walls. Loyalty's a fragile thing, you either hold it or you break it. So I guard a circle like my breath, won't let the fakes replace it. Reflection in the rearview, every scar a navigation mark. I ain't running from the thunder, I learned how to dance in the dark. Plans on paper, plans in motion, patience stitched into my sleeves. I still check the exits, still remind myself to breathe. If success is a mansion, I'm keeping rooms open for the past. Let the music be the witness, let the road tell where I'm tasked. Light fades to a softer hum. I lock the door but leave a key. Keep my circle tight, my vision clear. This is what it's costing me.
Used to count quarters, now I'm counting commas in my head. Paper stack but pain stay, pockets heavy so thin thread. Friends move different once the coupe glossy chrome. Trust is scarce, loyalty's cheap when the fever's on. I keep a quiet circle, let the city play my soundtrack. Sleepless thoughts in the backseat, can't let the past come back. I pray for bigger blessings, but I wrestle with the fear. Success don't fix the silence, it just brings a different mirror. I got demons in the coupe and angels on my shoulder. Money on my mind, but the nights still feel colder. I'm chasing what they sell, but I'm losing what I know. Eyes on the summer, but my heart moves slow. I got demons in the coupe and angels on my shoulder. Money on my mind, but the nights still feel colder.
Ambition got me restless, blueprint in the palm. Latex from old faces, saying they wanna come. They don't know how many nights I sacrificed to last. Turn my pain into a ledger, put my scars up on the graph. Deals on Sunday, prayers at midnight in the stairwell. Promise me the moon, but the ledger keeps a real tale. I see a rise and shift, but I keep the same set of rules. Hunger in my chest, ain't playing by no other tool.
I ride waves up, promise try not to drown in the show. Got ghosts in the crowd, but I still put on my coat. We built from the gutter, now we gamble with the glow. Loyalty's the currency that ain't for sale, you know. I ride waves up, promise try not to drown in the show. Got ghosts in the crowd, but I still put on my coat. Success tastes sweet, but bitter's in the back of the throat. Checks clear, but empathy still learning how to flow. Model life on the gram, but my reflection different. Suit fits good, but my conscience ain't finished. I buy my people dinners, keep a room for the real. Seen them switch for status, seen them duck when it gets real. Celebrate the wins in the studio and in my head. Pop bottles for the nights when I could barely make the bed. Loyalty's a tattoo, not a trend you pick and pass. My crew rock weather roads, not the filtered glass. We share the low wages, share the dreams on the street lamp. Signatures on the same page, scars map where we can. I don't promise forever, I promise today and work. If you ride with me through the drought, you share the perks. Trust is built in silence and the favors that you keep. We never sleep on each other, even when the bills run deep. Reflection in the mirror, lines that money didn't buy. Counting out the lessons, not the reasons why I fly. I write it here to ache, not just flex another win. Every lyric's therapy, inks a map back to begin. I still worry about tomorrow, still pray about the past. Chasing goals to what I wanted, trying to make this moment last. If I lose it all tomorrow, let them say I tried and fought. Build my life on honest sweat, not just the things I bought.
I wake up with plans scribbled on receipts, coffee gone cold.
Counting miles on the phone that don't even show the road. I move like I owe the world, something I never got paid for. Pressures under the jacket, heartbeat like a metronome. I see my future in the rearview, ain't that funny? Used to dream about a dinner plate, now it's bottles in a bigger Chevy. But I ain't lost the hunger, that's the vice that keep me steady. Praying I don't trade my soul for a name that won't remember me. Gold on my wrist, but the night's still heavy. Stars in the ceiling, my mind, I'm getting messy. Chasing a skyline that don't feel friendly. If I make it out, will somebody remember me? I keep running through the static and the envy. I keep running, pray the pain don't bury me. The block taught me math with no whiteboard, only scars. We counted blessings in the dark, whispered plans and smoked cigars. Lost dogs and lost chances, funerals on my calendar. Mama worked 2 jobs just to laugh at my dumb confidence. I stole sleep from the angels, traded trust for quick advances. Seen brothers change like seasons when the money starts to dance. Court dates, late place, that hustle make you practice patience. But sometimes patience look like sleep you can't afford to take. Damn, now the ceiling different, still the same questions in my dome. People clap when I in the booth, stood in the cold before the show. Penthouse views, different mirrors, compliments from strangers. Success built on shaky ground, I pray I'm not a danger. Designer labels on my demons, champagne on my conscience. Fast cars, faster women, but I'm still to find solace. I bought time with my presence, spent it on the wrong bets. Now I'm learning how to love my wins without losing my respect. Lights flash, but I'm